Hey guys, welcome back to Weeb101, and today there's a bit of a change. Unfortunately, my desk has moved and you can't see my figurines as well anymore. You can see my guitar though, and you can see a little poster over there.
Yes.
Sid's not the only one with a poster now. But yes, we are back for a very special episode. A very special episode. We are going to the classics. Also, there's a lighting change, so that's going to suck if you can't see my face, but I shall try to use my left hand instead. Very special episode. One of the classics.
One of the best.
We love it.
Yep, we do.
Body's a hater.
He
I'm
is.
able to move my finger up.
Is your finger stuck?
Yeah. Okay, anyway, Sid, what are we going to be talking about today?
First, say our names. You always forget.
Hey guys, I'm Bru.
And I'm Sid. Yeah.
And Sid, what are we going to be talking about today?
Today, we are going to talk about Ichigo 100% by Kawashita Mizuki.
Yes.
Yes.
It's one of the classics, as I said.
One of the classics. It's an amazing manga.
Sum it up.
Yeah,
Sum it up for people who don't know what it is.
Yes.
Imagine a guy. Nothing special about him, nothing great. Just a normal, regular guy. A guy you wouldn't think is so popular. He's extremely popular with all the popular girls. All the good-looking girls, all the sexy girls. He has all of them, and it just follows his life, and it's a romantic comedy. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you can call it a romantic comedy. It's
harem. Like a slice of life comedy, harem, yes.
Yeah, it's a harem, yeah.
And I must put this out at the start. We at Weeb101 do not ask you to behave like this in public.
Yes, please.
We do not approve of this behavior in real life.
This
but
is
we
fiction.
Understand that it is a comic. It
Yes.
is manga. It is fiction, and so we are keep that in mind when you're listening. That's all I'm saying.
Enjoy the story. Yeah.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about something that sounds very suspiciously like sexual harassment, it's not because we endorse it. It's just that it's there in the fictional comic. So please don't cancel us. We are very good people. Anyway, Sid,
Yes.
what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Ichigo 100%?
Yeah.
We've reading it after what, 7 years?
Yeah, it's years. So I think the first time we read it was when we ourselves were like teens or in our late teens, you know. That's
Very
when we
young,
read
yes.
it. Yeah. So I think I wouldn't say could relate to him because like he's always surrounded by girls, which wasn't our situation at all. But
Hey, I was surrounded by girls. None of them liked me, but I was surrounded by girls.
Interesting. But yeah, so but you could still relate to a lot of things. I'll get into detail about that now. But I think first time we read it was when we were kind of looking for ecchi manga, right? Because when we got into manga, you're a teenager, you're going through puberty, you're like, need some ecchi stuff. And I think I found it.
Deny that, but go on.
I was looking for ecchi manga and I'm like, oh, Ichigo 100%, never heard of this. Like, I'm like, bro, wait, let's start reading Ichigo 100%. It sounds interesting. And then we started reading it, and we saw the first chapter where like he sees her like strawberry panties for the first time, and me and bro were like, yes, we love this. This is interesting. We are going to keep reading this. And I think we absolutely loved the manga at that point, as teenagers.
I loved it completely. For all
and
the
because
wrong
of
reasons,
that,
might I add.
Yes, for all the wrong reasons, of course. But as we haven't read in years now, you know. And since we are doing episodes, I was thinking like, you know, since we are doing like No Nut November and we are talking about ecchi manga like Konosuba, we did King's Game, which was also ecchi. I was like, let's do
No Nut November.
Everyone who's listening to this, we're helping them go through it.
Too, yes.
Yes.
Me too, yes.
Brew also.
Although I think we should have done this on Valentine's Day or some shit, you know, just to make that a little
we should have
single people a lot harder in the gut, and I know a lot of weebs out there are currently single, not stereotyping at all, but yes, anyway.
Bruce judging weebs apparently. But
anyway,
besides the fact, I was like, yo, we loved Ichigo, let's like read that let's read it again and see how good it is, if it still holds up. And then we started reading it.
It still is good.
So it still holds up, even though some parts get weird for us. I don't know, it's because we've grown up or what, but I still like the nostalgia. I still enjoyed reading through the whole thing, even though like,
yes, definitely.
So I'll tell everyone, Bru knows this. So I don't like, even when I watch movies, films, manga, anything, I don't like reading things twice because it becomes boring for me if I know what's going to happen. So even films and stuff, I don't see it more than once. I've seen things only once in my life. That's why I forget most of it.
Kubrick.
But when I yeah, Kubrick. When I started reading, we are not going to talk about Kubrick. He's special. His films I'll watch every year. That's different.
I'm not saying anything. I just
But
coughed in the middle.
But I tried reading. In the beginning, I was kind of having that same feeling, like, yeah, I know what's going to happen. He's going to meet these people and all. But then as I got into it, I think I got lost in it and just like finished it straight up. I read it and like in a few hours, I finished the whole thing and I absolutely enjoyed the journey. And I think it's a good manga. Like, you can say it's like cliche and all that,
Seal of
but
approval.
cliche doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Like cliche works very well here, like the romantic cliches. I think it works beautifully in the manga. If there was a place where you had to see it like displayed correctly, I think without being very annoying or without being too obvious, I think this manga is like the best example of it, right, bro?
Yep. And I would also like to say that, firstly, very important point. We asked Audie to read it as well, and he very excitedly started it, and then said he didn't like it. And as I promised, Audie, I know you're listening, you suck. You're a hater of.
Yes, Audie didn't
art.
Like it.
Anyway, now that that's out of the way, it was the opposite experience for me reading it. I remember the first scene. I remember 2 scenes in the middle, so 3 scenes total, and I forgot everything else. And I went into it with not knowing what was going to happen. And I was like, oh, it's just like a new manga for me all over again. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? Oh my God, look, this girl's coming. Oh, that girl's coming. And I like remembered a few of the characters, not all of them. And I don't know, it was very fresh for me. And I didn't read it as fast as you did say. I took, I think, 4 or 5 days to finish it. But I took my time. Today I just finished reading it 5 hours ago.
Oh yeah, you're fresh. You're fresh off the manga.
Yeah, I took my time reading it for the last few days, but then today I was just like, okay, I have to finish it before the episode. So that's where we're at. But I really enjoyed it. I would have liked to take a couple of more days, read it very nicely. It's a real nice slice of life type of manga. And if this is what slice of life is, I'm going to read more or watch more because it's real fun. Anyway, so what do you like? What do you think about Ichigo 100%? Who's your favorite girl? Who's your waifu?
Oh my God. Wait, so before I wanted to say, like, we don't read a lot of like romance manga, right? Which I think we should, because there are lots of good ones out there. I think it's unexplored, but we definitely will. If y'all can suggest some good ones, we'll check it out for sure. But I think Ichigo 100% was like really nice for the first romance manga we ever read, I think, as kids at that age.
And it was a very impactful.
Yeah, very impactful. Because like, we're kids, we're like, oh, shonen, like, we're watching Naruto and Pokemon and Dragon Balls and all that shit.
I mean,
you don't have time.
Beat people up, blow up.
Yeah, exactly.
Planets, mountains.
Yeah. And because of that, we don't.
There is one thing I want to say. When I'm going to be talking, right? I'm going to be talking with 2 things in mind. So I'm going to give 2 different points of view, as much as I can remember at least. One is going to be what I originally thought when I read the manga first, and the other is going to be what I think now, because because now that we're older, I feel like the manga has a lot of deep meanings in what they've written, in what he's written, and I think as kids we couldn't appreciate the whole thing because we were just like,
no, that is true. That is true. It's like, speaking of deep meanings, like, the first thing I noticed, about the manga, like how much importance the manga gives to like dreams of characters, dreams people have in life, and how interactions with other people and obstacles and all that, can like hinder their dreams, or how they still go for it. I think that aspect was, because the first time when Junpei meets like Aya, right, when he meets her in the terrace, basically when after she forgets her novel and she gives it to her, right, the notebook. She reads his novel and he's like, yeah, I want to be a novelist, but I'm scared. Like, I don't think I'll be. She talks about how it's a dream, but she's not able to achieve it yet, even though they're in school.
Yeah.
And when he's like, I don't say it out loud, but I want to be a filmmaker. And like, they both like set their goals over there. Like, like, this is what we want. Like, I think that's an amazing moment. I really appreciate that importance. As even like throughout the end, you see like dreams are always, given importance to in this, which I think is
Yeah,
amazing.
till the
Along,
end. Like
except
the
from the whole
ending is
thing.
basically a lot of
Mm-hmm.
about dreams as well, right? Also, spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
We forget to say that every single time. No, okay, wait. Before
Yeah.
we go further, I have to tell you something I've been thinking of all day, and I told you one part of it already, but I want to tell you the other part. So, firstly,
Mm-hmm.
the Satsuki, she looks exactly like the girl from Bakuman. Okay, you can't tell me that's not the same. Wait, I will. What's her name?
Yeah, I still don't see that, but Bru will put side to side in editing, so y'all will
Will
see
I?
that.
Will I?
Yeah, if Audi notes
What's his?
it down. Mi,
What's the guy? What's his name in Bakuman? I completely
Miyoshi,
forgot.
Miyoshi, I think.
Yeah, Miyoshi. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, Miyoshi. Okay, I think Miyoshi is definitely
Mm-hmm.
uh, an inspiration. Like she was inspired by this character.
Yeah.
And another thing is, I think Hattori, the editor, looks like the Toyama guy.
What's his name? Wait. Uh, Komiyama.
Komiyama. I thought Toyama for some reason. Yeah, Komiyama.
Dude, he
Okay,
looks so.
Hattori looks just like
Yeah,
that
he
guy.
does. He does.
I know that they said that their editor was and Ryuk was the inspiration,
Yeah,
but I
Ryuk was the
can't believe it
inspiration.
for 1 second that this guy was not involved in this.
Yeah,
Okay,
a
the
lot
character
of
looks
pages.
exactly like
Yeah,
Hattori.
a lot of pages look very similar to the Bakuman style. It's actually amazing. It's really well done.
Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah, what
now
we
that that's out
talking
of my
about?
system.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what do you think? Who's your
Yeah.
waifu? Let me know.
Okay.
Let me know the deets.
So it's I don't have a waifu per se, but the way you read the story, you want it to be Aya because that's how it's set up, right? Because it's like this unrecruited love, that thing. It's always like, oh, they like each other, but they're not together because of situations. So throughout the story, always like, oh, is it gonna be Aya? Is it gonna be Aya? The second time I didn't feel that because I knew who it was gonna be because I'd read it
My
before.
God.
Oh, by the way, I realized it's the second time I saw it because now I've learned a little bit of Japanese so I can understand meanings more. Do you know the harem is set up like a compass? So,
Oh yeah,
Junpei,
yeah, yeah.
Manaka.
It's supposed to be supposed to be one person from
Yeah.
each side
So
direction, right?
Manaka or Mannaka is like center. That's what it means. Tojo, the To kanji is east. I think Yui Minamoto Minami is south. Kitaoji Kita is north, and Nishi is west.
Ah.
So these are like four
I didn't know
directions. Is
which one was
harem.
which, but I knew the directions because I was doing some research about it.
Yeah,
Also,
so
pervert.
that was pretty cool.
It was okay when we were younger, but they're kids and you're old now. You can't be talking about who's your waifu, okay? That's the.
I didn't say who's my waifu. Haha, caught you off guard,
I
didn't
wanted to
I?
catch you with that. Anyway.
Nice try, dude. I didn't once mention anything
Also-
about that.
Also, every time they said Nishino, for some reason my mind just registered it as Nishinoya, and I was like,
Oh yeah, me too,
"Nishinoya?
me
Why-"
too. I was
Like,
just,
why
I was-
Nishinoya? And Haikyuu flashbacks started coming up. Haikyuu episode 2 gonna come out soon if you ever watch
Exactly.
the fourth season part 2. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, even I thought it was going to be Aya because I forgot the ending, and I was
yeah.
a little sad when I realized the ending that it wasn't going to be Aya.
Hmm.
But then again, I am a fan of Nishino. She is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
But
Although I really think they did Satsuki dirty with the whole thing. Like in the end, she was barely given importance.
yes, she was barely given importance in the end. And like in the manga, they made her like keep trying to get him even after she realized everything. Like she
Yeah.
never stopped trying. Like she was very straightforward with her like
Yeah.
confessions and everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was like. But even if you talk like, how funny was that? In the beginning, the old school ground confession, doing a pull up and hanging. Like,
Yeah,
I can't
I mean-
relate to it in India because we didn't have playgrounds with pull up bars and stuff in our school.
Yeah,
But
of course, my school didn't even have a football ground. It was just like
yeah,
a random ground on an adjacent society of buildings, and people used to walk past it, and we used to kick the football around there.
yeah,
And our basketball hoop got broken by one guy jumping on it, literally hanging from the hoop. And
Oh,
it
yeah,
just,
that-
whole
that-
thing fell down.
I'm surprised a
But
kid
yeah, I
could
mean-
jump that high. Yeah,
No, see, that's the thing. He didn't jump up like normal, like basketball players do. He climbed up the back of it Okay, climbed up with the
Oh,
so
I
one of those
see.
mobile basketball stands. So I climbed up the back of it and then jumped
Yeah.
and caught the ring, and then it just broke it. And it was never fixed after
My
that. They were like,
God.
screw it, with you guys are screwed. You don't get to play games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I can't understand the pull up thing either. And in fact, I'm surprised that he could even do a pull up. I can't do a pull up.
Yeah, that's
Can you do
true.
a pull up?
I can do one or two, but
My God,
not a lot. Yeah.
could you do pull ups when you were a kid? When you were that young?
No, I never tried. No, no, not at all. I don't think I could. But
I'm pretty sure I couldn't have done a pull up at that time. Much less talk to someone and be like, yes, please go out with me. No way.
no,
Not possible
definitely
at all.
not.
But it does seem like a very, you know how when you're a kid you. So again, I don't know what I was thinking then, but it was probably something like, damn, that guy's so cool. He's doing a pull up. You must be so strong.
Yeah,
He's showing
exactly.
his strength to the woman. But now I'm like, holy shit, this kid's dumb, man. Like, who the hell does a pull up to confess to someone?
Yeah,
Just
you
go
see it
talk
as like
to
a
them.
innocent and like funny thing. Like that's how
Yeah,
he's
it's like
proposing.
a kid thinks that's what a girl wants to
Exactly.
see out of a boy.
It's very
and he wants her
interesting.
to be strong. Yeah, and he's trying to show that off. And it's weird because the suggestion came from Aya, so I'm not sure I entirely understand. Maybe that's what she thought would be impressive to girls because she thought girls wanted strong guys. So there's a layer of complexity over there. But either way, somehow
Yeah.
it worked.
Yeah, it worked. And no, the thing I liked about like, so it reminded me, when you're a kid, like nothing matters. Like whatever you do, you think is like the biggest thing. Like how he thought like his proposal
course.
was
You
like
think
the
the world
biggest thing in the
revolves
school. So, and like, do you remember any stories from high school of you in school? Could you relate to? Did you think of anything like talk
You
about it?
mean the
Anything
related to the
that comes to
confession
mind?
or in general?
No, anything that you saw their experience in high school that you could think of that's similar, or anything that you could relate to with their feelings and their
Okay.
emotions, how they were in high school.
Okay. So wait, how old are they in high school? If they're Japanese, high school is what for us?
I think, I don't know, but I think they were in like
Like a
15, 16,
9th,
17,
10th
18. I would
grade?
assume. Yeah,
Oh, that
that's
old?
I would assume that's equal.
Isn't that
Yeah. You can say
wait, weren't
you
they in
can say
middle
9th,
school
10th
though when
grade.
it started? Weren't they
When
in
it
middle
started,
school when it started?
yeah, they started,
So
and
that
then
should be
they
around
went
9th,
first
10th
year,
grade,
second
right?
year, third year. Yeah, 9th, 10th grade. Yeah.
Okay, 9th, 10th
Oh, you can
grade.
say
Okay, I can
8th, not
think,
lower than 8. Yeah. There's a lot of incidents. Yeah.
yeah, there are probably a few things I can relate to. Okay, so if you
Tell
look
us,
at
tell us.
how what's her name, Sukasa was idolized by the
Yeah.
entire all the classes, and she
Oh,
always
yeah.
had people following her around. There was this girl who was like that. Her name was
Bob.
I'm not gonna say her
We
name.
just call them
Yes, her
Bob.
name was- her
Yeah,
name
don't
was
say
Bob.
names here.
And Bob was really, really popular, and all the
I
guys
see.
liked Bob. And I got caught up in it. I was like, okay, I should like this girl, right? Every guy likes this girl, so I should like this girl as well. And so the thing
Yeah.
is, Bob was kind of an airhead, okay?
Oh, I
Like
see.
she didn't read, she didn't talk about things that actually made sense. She was a very stereotypical girl. Like, it's like she wanted to fit in that stereotypical role.
Yeah.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with people who want to do that, but as a kid I was like, do I really have to like this woman? So but I still got caught up in. So Bob was very popular. It reminded me of Tsukasa, the way it happened.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure she had a lot of fans even after she left school. That is one thing. But then the rest of the story didn't go the same way. Bob dated one of the popular guys who
Oh, of course.
used to do
She was
football
never
tricks
interested in
and-
you. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Bob barely knew I existed.
I see.
I wonder if I should say. Nobody listens anyway. I actually read Twilight for this girl because I thought I would discuss it
Oof.
with her.
Oof.
Except she didn't want to discuss Twilight either, so.
Well. We all have our sad moments in school, yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
But Bob was very popular. And like Bob, unlike Bob and like Aya, there was this girl who was very quiet but smart, and she knew her shit. And I
Yeah.
actually liked this girl, except I told her I liked her and she kind of blocked me and everything and ran away.
Wow. As you can see, we have amazing, successful school experiences. Yes.
Well, but she was a great friend until that moment. Just after that, she ghosted me completely. IRL.
Yeah, that's true. Well, very interesting. That's unlike anything that
What
happens
about
in the manga.
you?
Well, so before I came to Mumbai, I wasn't in Mumbai before, right? So before
Yeah.
that, in school, I remember in my class there were two popular girls. Two girls were very popular. Okay, so
Okay.
girl one she was like a scholar. She used to get like highest marks and everything,
Uh huh.
and everyone liked her, and she was like the prettiest. And girl two was also equally beautiful, but she was like pro at sports. So in our class,
Ah.
all the guys were behind both of them. Okay,
Yeah, makes sense.
and I always used to. I always used to be like, damn, they're cool. As like, as a kid, you're like, damn, they're cool. I
Yeah,
would
of
like to
course.
talk to them, but I didn't have the balls because I was introverted as shit. But I still
And
had
not
my own
anymore, but yeah.
circle. So I would shoot within my circle. I had my own circle of like not as attractive as them, but still kind of attractive to me friends who I used to try to hit on. People who used to sit around me, and I just used to talk to them, sit around with them. But I could never reach as far and as popular as they were, because they always used to talk to, how popular kids only talk to each other and stuff in Indian schools.
Yeah.
They always seem out of your reach. You can never reach
I
them.
think
You can
that's just
never.
in schools in general.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
could
think that's
never.
limited to Indian schools.
I was in like 6th, 7th grade. I didn't even have the balls to go up and talk to them at that point.
Of course, of course. I
Yeah.
completely understand.
And even no, not only me, even the girls like who were in my group, even they never had the balls to talk to them.
Okay.
So it
So
was like
basically,
they were
you
that
guys
out
were
of
like
reach.
the outcasts,
But then when
and
I
all
came
the
to
popular kids didn't talk to you.
yeah, exactly, they never talk to us. But and when I moved to Mumbai, I think in 2007, and then after that, like literally everything changed. Like I think even you moved right from Chennai, so like we
Yeah.
had to make new friends, had to do everything. And in the new school, I got fucked. like
Hey, Bob was from my new
it was
school, not my old
oh,
school.
Bob
Just
from a
clarifying
new
that.
school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, uh, I think the popular girl in my new school, I talked to her a couple of times, but then like never again. So like the thing in the manga where I they were all out of reach for me. I just used to
Uh-huh.
I just used to like talk to people within my circle, and that's it in school. So, but a lot of things I relate, but a lot of funny things are like, when you're going through puberty as a kid, like it was of course like crazy exaggerated in the manga. Of course, it's not that ecchi and everything. But when you're going through puberty as a kid, I
To be
remember
fair,
because when I was
saw
in
nothing
school, you
ecchi
also
in my
think
school.
these things,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, we thought of a lot of things, but there was nothing
No, not
ecchi that
ecchi.
actually happened in my school.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like Junpei, like he fantasizes all these situations when he's looking at the girls and everything,
Of
right?
course.
I did that in high school, I'll admit, yeah.
Of
Because you're
course.
going through puberty, you're like, "Ooh, what is this? I don't understand, but yes, I want to be with her and all that stuff."
No, I think
So
that's
you keep
something that
fantasizing your
she's
future
captured
and everything.
really well.
Yeah. I
Because
know.
if I remember correctly, give me another name for a girl. Like, okay, Bob wasn't a name
Indian
for a girl,
name.
but
Let's
give
take
me
an
another
Indian name. Gayatri.
Okay, so no, see, what if the girl is actually named Gayatri? Then what are you gonna do?
Is her name Gayatri?
let-
No, right?
Let's just say Chris, because I don't know anyone
Savitri.
called Chris.
Dude, Savitri, Sita, Geeta.
Okay.
I can give you 100 random names.
No, I'll
that
just go with Chris.
I haven't
So
met a
Chris,
girl who
this
has
other
that
girl.
name. Yeah. Did you say
Chris,
Chris?
this other girl. Yeah, like Bob.
Good Tom. Tom is funnier.
Yeah, Tom. Okay.
Tom.
So Tom, this other girl, she hit puberty a little early,
I
and
see.
she started going through womanly changes. To I don't know how to put it, and I remember it was a topic for all the guys because we were like, holy shit, look at this girl, oh, she's becoming a woman, and we were like, oh, she's mature and shit. I want to date her, and
Yeah.
I remember all these conversations. The minute I read the way these guys were talking in Ichigo 100%, I was like, holy shit, this is so cringe. I've done this shit, and it's probably like very weird to think about it now, but at that time it was so. It's like, yeah, as you said, we're going through puberty, so we're like, oh my god, that girl looks good, that girl is hot, oh, what if we did this
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that
yeah.
girl? And
Yeah, dude. I
well,
remember that.
it happened IRL.
There was a girl in our school also who suddenly, when I was a kid, like we could really see the comparison. You're like, holy shit, she has like the biggest boobs in class. Like, my god,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
crazy. We are all mind blown because they almost seem too big for us as like kids. You're like, oh my god, this is crazy boobs. I don't know what it is. As a kid, you're like. But yeah, we
Well,
used to
puberty.
always. But it was, this is strange. So this girl had really big boobs and she had really hairy arms. Okay, and she like, yo, it's so cool. She has big boobs, but her hairy arms are weird. We used to talk about that a lot.
Yeah, actually, we've done that in my school as well. Because I just like this girl, we remembered her because of her hairy arms. And okay, now I would
Oh,
just like to point out that I don't believe in this shit now. Okay, like I don't give a
yeah, it
crap if
doesn't
a
matter.
girl
Yeah,
has
you
hairy
can
arms
be
or
as
not.
hairy as you want. Yeah, it doesn't. We
Yeah, you
don't
can
care.
do
Yeah,
whatever you want. I mean, I
yeah,
was a fat ass in
yeah,
school, and I still am. So I can't judge people for anything. But
yeah.
I mean, this is the sort of thing that kids do, and it's captured
Yeah,
so
it's
well
what
in the
kids do.
manga.
Yeah,
And you know how they get pissed off with Manaka every time something good happens to him. Like that shit
yeah.
happened as well. Like, oh, you talk to this girl? How dare you go talk to her?
Oh,
I wanted to
dude,
talk to
that
her.
happened. Yes, 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 that happened. Oh my god, like, oh, I remembered another story. So like in school, in my previous school in Pune, we used to sit like a guy and a girl in a bench. Right, that was the layout. You had to sit
Yeah.
like that. So my usual partner who used to sit next to me, she was absent. And so, like, the girl who I used to talk to from behind, she sat with me, because I was like, hey, I'm bored, sit. And we just used to talk and shit. And the next day she came, she got so pissed at me because they're like, oh, you were sitting with her, you were talking to her, I'm not your bench partner anymore, huh? And
My
as a little
God.
kid, I was heartbroken. I was like, no, I'm sorry. But yeah, lots
My
of, like, I
God.
could relate to things like that. That does happen in school a lot, yeah. Those were.
Yeah. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
there was one more thing where I was writing. That you remember? I wanted to write a book when I was younger.
Oh, yeah.
So there was this girl who's like, I was talking to her about my book and all that. I was just reading out one little part because she wanted to know how I wrote. And as I was reading out, I remember 2-3 guys from the other side of the class were like, oh, loser, nobody wants to know about your book. And when I was reading Ayat writing her novel and how she was scared people would judge her, I was like, holy shit, I understand that, honestly. I've been through that.
Oh my god, yeah. That's crazy, yeah. Holy shit. No,
Well, that's cool for you. They encapsulated it perfectly in the manga. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Especially how this guy just goes and asks out the most popular girl because he thinks he should date her. He thinks he should like her, and then he goes with it. He's like, yes, I'm going to date you. It sounds very, very believable. Well, the part where she dates,
a lot
wants
of
him,
moments.
likes him, and dates him, that part is a little unbelievable, but the rest of it is believable.
Yeah, that's a little. Yeah, for our situation, maybe there are some people here who can relate, but we can't. No, but a lot of moments, like their reactions, the way they talk, a lot of like high school moments, like. I don't know if at that point we thought about it because we were in that phase while reading it, the manga. But like now we can like look back upon those moments. It was very nostalgic for me reading this, like the whole journey. I really enjoyed it. Because like, hey, I
think
used to
reading
be like that. I used to be.
I think reading it back then, I was like, yes, this makes sense. And now
Yes,
I'm like,
this is cool. Yeah.
why? No, please.
Yeah, I was like, were we really this poor we as teenage
Yeah.
boys always thinking
Yeah,
about
I mean,
this?
it is crazy how horny teenage guys are. It is
Yeah,
just
it is
crazy.
pretty crazy. Yeah, but it's shown pretty accurately. Even if you like I wouldn't say it's very like compared to shit now, which is like borderline hentai, and they categorize it as ecchi. Like this is pretty
Yeah, of
innocent.
course.
Yeah, this is pretty
I mean,
tame.
we've seen some horrible
Yeah,
manga that pretends to be ecchi, but it's basically hentai. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So
No, but
I wouldn't
Yeah,
really
I
call
completely
this
agree. This
ecchi.
is
Yeah,
beautiful. This one, it's more like a slice of life school manga, and
Yeah.
you're just seeing how people behave, and it is honestly so realistic. I can't even begin to describe how much I could relate and be like, holy shit, this is cringe, but it happened.
Yeah, it
Like this, I
happened,
actually
yeah.
know people who behave like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know guys who
Yeah, what
were
happened? Tell us.
like
Brew is. Huh.
Komiyama, who were who wasn't really popular, but he thought he was popular, and he would go around flirting with girls and be rejected all the time. Like I know people like that, so it's actually pretty
Oh, yeah,
realistic. It's
yeah.
actually pretty fun to read it and be like, oh my god, that's so true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they filled in
Yeah,
all the
that
tropes
guy too.
pretty well,
Ace
right?
of
Like
the
the really
football club,
popular
I
guy who
literally
has
know
all the
that guy.
who gather, like the girls surround him all the time.
Like
and
he's
everything.
popular with the girls. He plays football. Teachers are nice to him.
Oh
I
my
know
God.
that guy. I legit know him. What is his name in the manga? Ukasa, right? Ukusa, something.
Yeah, I forgot his
Of
name.
course.
I need to look. I just have the wiki open for names because I'm terrible at character names. But I forgot his name. But yeah, whatever.
Ukusa, yeah.
Even like people like Amachi, by the way,
Oh,
later
Amachi,
on. Oh,
yeah.
Okusa.
But Amachi was more
yeah.
of
Okusa and then Amachi
like he
later
was a
on.
nice
Yeah.
guy. I don't believe I've seen someone like that. I haven't seen a nice guy who was also popular.
Yeah, he was nice.
Ah.
Oh, I know
You
some
have
nice
seen a
guys who were
different
very
breed.
popular in my school. Yeah, I was like, why are you
Best of
nice and
both worlds,
popular?
yeah.
That doesn't work. That's illegal. You
God.
can't do that. You can't be both. You need to be an asshole
Yeah,
if
but
you're
I was
popular.
never rooting for
Yeah,
Amachi in
that's
the
illegal
manga
for
because I
us.
was like,
Yeah.
no, Aya has to be with Manaka.
Yeah, I has to be with Manaka. Yeah, no, but I, yeah, and like the funniest thing that
Kinda.
I could
Really, Sid,
was
kinda.
as a
That's
kid.
what you're
Okay,
gonna
I
tell
was
people.
kind of poeted as a kid, so I'll give an example related to that. More than kind of, I was poeted as a kid. Hey, I'm just dumbing it down a little. We'll see when
Yeah.
I talk about it. So his fascination with like
Oh
seeing
my
panties,
God.
right?
Guys,
I
we're gonna
understand
see.
it,
We're
and
gonna
I'll
have
give
a
you a
window
story
into
also.
Sid's
Because,
past. This should become
so
the
I
most
was
watched
in,
video we have.
yeah. So I was in fifth
Uh-huh.
grade, so it's like 2005. I was really young. I don't know my age. Fifth grade, okay. And we were in school,
Uh-huh.
and like I told you, we used to sit like a girl and a guy on a bench, right? So, and I used to prank a lot, like when I was in school at that time in Pune, just do dumb stuff. So, I'll say only one of the situations. So, uh, my my bench partner was this
Of
girl
course.
called let's say Gayatri, even though that was not her name. And I remember once when she came to sit down on the bench, and we used to have really short skirts, our school uniform. So we used to have like knee length skirts, but that girl used to wear like shorter. There was some girl who always wear shorter skirts than the rest in school, and we look at them and be like, interesting. So the minute
Oh
she
my
came to
God.
sit next to me, I put my hand on the bench and she sat on my hand. And I was like, damn, what did I touch? Damn, that was cool. I did that. And then and she also didn't say anything, but she was laughing.
so you
And
were
I
a
remember
pervert
that in
from the
school, and I
start.
was fascinated with it. Yes, that is true. And even when they used to go up the stairwell, like me and my group of guys used to have our lunch under the stairwell in like fourth, fifth grade.
You hit
I was very
puberty
young. I don't know
early.
why I was a poet when I was young, but yeah. we used to try to look. We used to try to look
I
under the
ate lunch
skirts from
alone
the
because none
stairwell.
of the guys like me either, so I don't really know if they were trying to look under skirts. But personally, I never did that, so I don't understand why. Like even in the manga, I was like, I don't really understand this, but I'm assuming it's something
Yeah.
that would excite people, because well, as a yeah, you think that's like the best it
Yeah,
can
you're
get.
just curious
like,
as a kid,
I saw that. Yeah, I can understand it, but I mean, again,
Exactly.
it's a little exaggerated in the manga with panties literally being shown everywhere.
Yeah, oh dude, that's too much. Yeah, that never happened. I don't think I've ever like
Yeah, I know. And
as a kid I've never seen a girl's panties,
yeah,
I'll
it's
say
just weird.
that.
It's like I don't know if that's
Always
a thing in
attempts,
Japan.
yeah.
Like sexual harassment of a weird of as kids where you're just like, oops,
Yeah, I don't know if
look,
it's a
I
thing in
lifted your
Japan.
skirt. That's a little weird to me. But yeah. Yeah, I know,
Oh
right?
yeah. No, I don't
People
know.
will
That
kill
shit
you.
will get you killed in India. Literally kill people. Will kill you
That's
on the road.
weirdly,
Yeah.
well, I think a lot of Indians are fucked up.
But
But yeah, well,
yeah, what we saying? Hmm. No, but it's interesting to have these
yeah, I know,
moments
right?
from
And
school and to look back on them while reading manga. It's
th-
interesting.
th- there's also
But
like,
yeah,
so if you look at how Satsuki
what?
first came into Manaka's life, it's like he's recording something randomly and she starts fighting with him and then she throws his camera into the water. Nothing as extreme, of course, but then there have been situations where, you know, you know how guys are like, girls, no, I don't want to be near girls and all that. I think my Discord died.
Um, I think he died. Or do you note down the time?
Just a second. I am back. Hello? Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah, so the
is
way
Brew back?
Satsuki comes
Ah,
into
okay. Yeah, what we saying
Manaka's
with
life and
Satsuki? Start
they
again.
both start fighting and then she throws his camera and then she gets pissed off with him and then they slowly get closer over time. So nothing as extreme, but there have been girls that I fought with like crazy and then over time become friends with and become not no love really, but then it's just like, okay, we are friends now, be cool. And
Yeah,
that time, we are in the middle of, you're in this place where you're a little old, but you're still not old enough to be like, girls, you did that when you were young, you're like, girls are disgusting. So that was
yeah,
still there, but at
exactly.
the same
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, oh, girls are interesting. So it was in the middle of both of those.
By the, I'll
Oh
tell you
God.
something about me, which is not normal. I'm going to tell you something. So
Yeah.
you know that girls are disgusting, like young phase that people go through as kids.
My God,
I
a
always
pervert
liked looking
through
at
and
girls,
through.
even when I was a young kid. I never went through that phase.
My God.
Yes,
What?
as a kid also. Even I remember when I was in nursery, dude. Yeah, yeah. I never was like girls are disgusting. I used to hang out with
Yeah.
girls more than guys. Like even in school when I was in Pune, like 90% of my friends were girls. When I came to Mumbai, it all changed. Like because when I came to Mumbai in 2007, like I
Yeah.
think it was seventh grade. Every grade it was the same year, So Mumbai fucked me up, dude. Because since I didn't know anyone, I became like a crazy introvert. Stopped talking to people, became like the quietest person. Because I got such a like shock because everyone I knew,
Yep,
everything
yep,
I knew
same.
was left behind. Then I moved here to this new place where I don't know anyone, and to this new school where like things were scary at that time for me because I was a kid. So I became like this really
Yep,
introverted,
yep.
closed guy, and it took me a lot
Yeah,
of years to
okay,
open up,
so
is what I'll say.
there was
Yeah,
this
but
girl I
Pune was
liked in
like good
Chennai,
memories. Yeah.
and I know she'll never listen to this, so well, I'm still not going to use her real name, but
Yeah.
basically, she would. Okay, this it is like weird abuse. Okay, she would like stab me with pencils or pens or something for fun. Basically, and and
She was a tsundere.
she would kick
Holy
people
shit,
and punch
IRL
people and she was
tsundere.
very violent in general. But then she was a really cool girl, okay, and I liked her, but then
Holy
I was like,
shit.
you girls, no, maybe I do like her. No, you girls, maybe I do like her. And that was the first time I ever wrestled with that ideology. And then I came to Mumbai. I was like, hey, I think I liked you a couple of years ago. She was like, haha, I expected that. I was
Yeah.
like, what? That's it? Okay. Yeah. And but
Straight
yeah,
up.
after that,
Haha, I
Mumbai,
expected that. Yeah.
Kharghar, that's where I live. Kharghar girls were not the best of friends for me. In my school,
You met other people in Kharghar. Surprising.
no, there are a lot of people.
I
Trust me,
thought
all
you're
of
the
them
only
went to
one who lives in
Panvel
that
for
area.
college afterwards.
Oh, in your school. Yeah, of course. There are people who come from outside.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah, Bru lives in a desert, by the way, for those who don't know. No one lives around him. He lives alone in that. He's the only one in that town. But anyway. Oh, he died again. Or do you note down the time again?
Sorry, I switched internet connections. My bad. Audie, please note down the time. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, you were
Oh,
saying.
that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Basically, after I just said Bru lives in a desert and he's the only one who lives in his town. That's so. Apart from that, let's get back to the manga. So, dude, a lot of like if you see romantic moments that
Yeah.
they have, like the early romance and stuff, like later on, much later on, right? Like
Yeah.
especially between like Tsukasa and Junpei and all. Like, I could relate to some of them because when I was in school and like me and like the girl I liked, we used to spend so much time like talking about what we'll do in the
Of course.
future. And that time I didn't know what I was gonna become. Like I had no idea as a kid. Like I later in life I was like, okay, I like animation. I'm gonna become an animator. At that time it was just what your parents tell you, which in India is like engineer, doctor. So I was like, oh, I'll be an engineer, and and my brother will
Okay.
hate me for this, but I'm gonna tell the story. So my brother had a friend. Okay, my brother had a friend, and
Okay.
like they were family friends, so we used to go to their house. Okay. He's coming down in anger. But basically I was a little older. I think I was like I was still young, but this was 2005 6. But my brother is 5 years younger than me. So he and this little girl used to like play house. Basically, they just like, oh, you came from home, I'll make roti for you, which is like Indian bread. Oh yeah, I'm tired, I guess I they used to like play family like as kids because they like liked each other so much.
This is
It was
some
very
good ammo to
adorable.
have.
And like even their parents used, yeah, and our parents and the girls used to be like, yes, they are going to be together when they grow up. Yes, yes. And I used to make fun of her, like, Mickey, you like her, huh? She makes food for you when you come back from work, apparently, after a long. But it was very adorable, yeah. Like, it's fun, like, when you see the innocence play out as kids, yeah. It's very interesting. So there are a lot
Yeah,
of
I mean,
things
there's a
that
lot of
I could
innocence
relate to
in
that were very
the whole
interesting in the
thing.
manga,
It
right?
like Ichigo 100% is all about having that very
Uh,
innocent thought process throughout your school life, because like even the way he thinks like
yeah.
they're going to kiss or do a lot of weird stuff. It doesn't turn out to be that way, but then the girl is also thinking of something similar. She's like, oh my god, is he expecting to go all the way, or is he doing this? and and you mentioned this when we had just started reading.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's a
exactly.
lot of accidental comment, not like it's not planned. It's just like something that could actually happen by mistake in life, where you're, for example, one of them falling over
Yeah.
the other person and them falling on this thing.
Dude, that happens like a
Yeah, but
hundred times throughout the
yeah, but
manga.
it
That's
makes
never happened
sense,
to me
right?
even
Like you
once
can
in my
imagine
life.
it
Why am I
happening.
not so clumsy as to fall?
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
it's
you
all
can imagine it,
exaggerated.
but I think
Hey,
it still happens too
man,
many times.
like
There's all
it's
he
all
always falls down with
somehow
the
their
girl.
shirts always
Yeah.
tear. Okay, it's not possible for that to happen. Yeah, and somehow
Oh yeah,
even though the
always. It
temperature
always like
everything is
opens up.
hot
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
Japan, somehow a gust of wind just comes and blows up their skirts. How does that even make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
No,
that's
but
what I'm
that's
saying. It's
just
exaggerated, but you can
those are just
definitely
the
see how
etchy
it could
pages.
happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. But me as a teenager
Yeah.
was just
Me as
thinking
a
about,
teenager
haha,
appreciated those pages a lot.
honey, yes. But then
Yeah.
when I read it now, I was like, oh my god. Like if I was in that situation where a girl randomly came like this close to me, I'd be like, oh my god, what's happening? Oh, okay, are we gonna do something? But then as a kid, I was just like, oh, they
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
kiss, yeah. So I think
Yeah,
it makes
exactly.
a lot of sense the way they
So,
actually behave. And even obviously because written
yeah,
by a
yeah.
woman, I think the female characters are all well developed, and they also have their own thought processes. They actually have a lot more development than the guys.
Yeah.
The guys are all perverts. Basically, the guys are all perverts. All of them
They
have the
do
same
actually, yeah. Yeah, all
ideology,
do,
the
all of
same
them.
seriousness about other girls. Yeah, that's true. All teenage guys are
Well,
terrible,
all teenage
and all
guys
the
are
girls have a
perverts,
lot
so
more.
she's right
Uh,
there. Yeah.
yeah, they have
Yeah.
character development as well.
They're much more
But
mature,
yeah, I
which
mean,
is true.
yeah, I know, right? And
Yeah.
that's a real
It's
fun
true
way
in
to
the real
look at it
world
because you're
too,
not
but
used to
yeah.
seeing things from that perspective. Like if for example with before Satsuki comes into the picture, uh, the, I think Aya thinks that Nishino and Manaka kiss or something, and then she's like, or he does something perverted, and she's like, oh my god, I am so disgusted, and then she ignores him for a while. Like all that is very understandable. Like I can totally see some girl from my school who ignoring the hell out of me because they thought I was trying to look at somebody's panties. Like that would definitely happen.
Yeah.
So overall, it's just beautifully written. It's
definitely.
innocent,
Yeah.
accidental humor,
No.
which I appreciate a lot.
Yeah, I think she really captured it. Like, of course, there are more specific things that like Japanese that the Japanese will like relate to, because like it's more set on the Japanese school standards and a lot of probably inside jokes and stuff. But even here, like here in India, could relate to so many, right? Which is crazy. She's really done like an amazing job, like understanding kids, which is very difficult to do because like kids are like so unpredictable, like they're innocent, like they don't care about the world, right? They
I really
they
want to know
they
what
believe they can be
motivated her
anything. They're
to
just
write
living and
these-
enjoying
write
life.
this whole manga
Yeah,
in the first place.
they're
And also, even when it comes to liking multiple girls, because when I was younger, I was like, okay, you know what, this guy can't like 4 girls at once. Like you like a girl, it's true love, man. That's it. And now I'm like, oh shit, you know what? Totally happens.
It is. It happens. Yeah, as a kid, like you used to look at girls, you like it. There's more than one. You're like, oh yes, I like her, I like her, I like her, and I like her, and I'm gonna try for all. But yeah, kids.
Hey guys, sorry about that. My camera died in the middle. I'm back now with a new card and a new camera. Anyway, Sid, let's continue from where we left off. It is almost an hour and we have not even gotten to this middle of the manga right now.
Exactly.
We're still at the starting.
We gotta get started. Let's start talking about the manga. Yes,
okay, so
Bru,
now
as a story, you appreciate stories a lot. You like stories, you write stories.
I like
What do you think
stories,
about
I like stories.
and you don't really do a lot of romance when it comes to stories.
I don't.
You don't
Yes,
read
I
a lot
really
of romance novels. So
I really don't.
what's your opinion on the story of this manga? It's
Love
100%.
it. Love it. It's not only about the story itself is a mix of so many different genres. It's not just one thing. So you have a romance, one aspect. You have a lot of comedy, which I really appreciate, and you have this base slice of life type of thing, which is just so nice and chill to read. Like the only other thing which I think I could consider a slice of life is Oyasumi no Punpun.
Oyasumi Punpun.
That's like dark slice of
life.
I need breaks after reading a couple of chapters. Well, this is a lot more chill. I'm just like, yes, let's read a couple of chapters. Let's chill. Let's take a nap. Then let's go back to reading it. It was really, really fun. And like I understand what you mean by when you say it's repetitive, because you get the same girl and then it's a very similar thing that happens, but then each character is again brings in something different to the table, and then it adds something different to the story. And you have this sense of, okay, who is going to win this war of love, who is going to come out on top. And
it is more interesting than like shitty harem anime, which I don't care about and don't watch, where it's just like girls fighting over this guy. Here it makes more sense because it fits into the story well. Like the way they meet him and the time they spent with him and everything. Like even though it is exaggerated because it's a manga, it still makes a lot more sense than just girls like, oh, I like you, like
The only thing that didn't make sense to me was after Manaka basically breaks up with Tsukasa, and after he treats Satsuki like shit and tells her, yo, I'm not going to fall in love with you. Both of them are still like, but I still love you. I don't think any girl of that age would have the mental capacity to do that. I think they would be too filled with ego about how could you break up with me type of thing. Because that's what I've seen. I've seen that a lot. I've never seen someone react well to a situation like that. Never.
Yeah, they don't react well. But I understand that point because I've talked to people who've said that, like, even after they've been rejected or shot down, they still are in love with that person for a while.
To the
So that
point
still
where
stays,
Satsuki
right?
is like jumping on him and pressing her boobs against him, like, oh, I love you so much. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Like,
that.
okay,
yet,
that is
yeah.
an exaggeration.
Yeah,
So
of course.
Satsuki, I can still understand. But
Yeah.
Tsukasa is a little unrealistic, little too unrealistic to me, because that's like popular girl randomly falls in love with a random boy, and then he fucks up, and she's still like, oh, but I love you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she
That's
always had
weird.
strong feelings for him. She could never get over
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, from the start. And I think each girl also represents a different philosophy of dating,
Yeah.
which they take. Like, so Sukasa is like it's like a slightly passive, but
I
it's
think
a very,
Tsukasa was set up to be the perfect date in a way, right?
yeah, because she waits for him to make the first move, but once she
Yeah.
does, she's aggressive and she takes initiative.
Exactly.
And on the other hand, Aya was just like, I can't say anything. I'm not going to accept anything. You're just going to have to do everything
Yeah,
over
yeah.
here. And on the other hand, this woman, Satsuki, was just like, oh my god,
yeah.
kiss me right now.
Exactly, yeah. She was the one making the first move all the time. She was very aggressive with it, yeah.
All the time, like, god
And
damn.
Yui was just
that
like-
a single trip?
Yeah.
But is Yui even considered
No,
one of
yeah,
the
she's
main
like
female
she
protagonists?
was just
though?
like, a childhood friend who's kind of always interested
Yeah, they
in
never
you.
had
Yeah.
any romantic.
No,
things
it
like
wasn't
these
as
guys
strong
did.
as these three, but she was
Yeah, yeah.
important. Yeah.
It was there. I mean, there was a slight romantic aspect to it, but not really anything valuable compared to how much Satsuki, Aya, and Tsukasa had to play
Yeah,
in it.
exactly. That's true.
Yeah, but and another thing is, well, I think they represented different things in Manaka's life. Like Tsukasa wanted to follow her own dreams but still be a part of his life.
Yeah.
Aya wanted to follow her dreams and be a part
Be a
of his
part-
life.
yeah.
And Satsuki didn't want to follow her dreams, just wanted to be a part of his life.
Yeah.
And that again goes back to their dating ideology, right? Satsuki devoted herself completely to him, and Manaka realized that's not something he wanted.
Yeah.
He really wanted to be with Aya, but then he realized that, at least to me, it felt like he realized that she was someone he would love to work with professionally, but not necessarily have a life with together.
Yeah,
as a
exactly.
romantic
Yeah.
relationship with forever. And Tsukasa in the end was like, okay, I'm doing my own shit. I still like you. If you still like me, let's get together.
Yeah,
But I'm not
exactly.
going to give up anything for you. And I think that's what attracted him the most, because she was vulnerable even though she had her own priorities. And the other two were not in the same
The
way.
other
Like
two were
Aya
not.
was too vulnerable but with
Yeah.
no priorities, and Satsuki was never actually vulnerable. She just kept saying, I love you,
Yeah,
I love
she
you,
just
but
kept saying,
there was
yeah.
no vulnerability which was being shown. So
That is
I think
true.
there's like a very big, very stark difference between the three of them, at least.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that is the case, because there are, like, you don't always, like, there are people, you meet who you really like them, but it's just like you want to create something with them, you want to work with them, like
Yeah.
they become more like, work partners, like, you like it, they help your dream, instead of becoming your partner in life. So
Yeah,
that
you really want
yeah,
to,
exactly.
you really want to do something with them, but not necessarily, or maybe not even at all in a romantic way.
not anything in a exactly, and you do face that a lot. So that situation makes a lot of sense from like Manaka's view, but
Yeah.
even like I always like liked him and stuff, but like that's what, even though like these, you see these in the beginning, you see a lot of it, right? Like those, like speaking of the story, all these like classic things you see in romance movies, of like all
Yeah.
these situations they fall in where they like each other, all these like, oh, I don't like you because you talked, all these basic things. Like
Yeah.
most people, like they're like, yeah, whatever, it's the same shit, I know what's gonna happen and all, right? But I think it's still it's like I said in the beginning, it's really like beautifully done here, makes sense here, and it actually adds a lot of, like, because the characters are so complex, like they've been developed
Yeah.
really well, and because their interactions are not just like superficial on surface level. Sorry if you can hear the loud fireworks randomly, it's Diwali here.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's not just superficial for that, oh, like, haha, I fell into, we tripped together, and
Yeah.
like, even though I see the fun, but it's much more than that, right? Because the characters
Yeah.
are much like are much more complicated than just the basic romance stuff you see in like shitty movies.
Yeah. No, that also, like, one thing that keeps bugging me about the story is that if Aya had just told him, if she had been a little honest with him, she had worked up a little bit of courage, she would be the one dating him. Without a doubt. Because he was obsessed with her until he decided to commit to
that is true.
Nishino.
No, but he always had these moments with Nishino that seemed that they really liked each other. Like the minute they met and talked to each other. Yeah.
But then before he asked out Nishino again in the end, he was ready to go all in with Aya, but then he thought that her brother was her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's mistakes like those. Like if you
that
remember
happens
this
a
scene,
lot in like classic rom-coms.
If you remember this scene where Tsukasa jumps because of a cockroach and jumps into the arms of the chef, the pastry chef, and Manaka sees it and storms out. Like, these situations are also
very realistic. It happens in real life.
The Ukasa, right? What's his name? His friend, his popular friend. Okusa and this guy, oh my god, I forgot all the names.
Komiyama.
Hattori looking guy. Komiyama and Manaka are talking about, okay, if a girl does this, then she likes you. If she does this, she doesn't like you. All that shit is so accurate.
So accurate, it does. My god. Holy shit.
Like thinking, okay, she's looking at me, her feet are pointed towards me like this, or she plays with her hair like this. All that is so realistic. And then even them not, misunderstanding situations is so realistic.
Dude.
Because there was this time I was like, okay, this girl is sitting next to me on the bus. I think she likes me. Turns out she was just like, hey, I don't like it. I don't like that other guy who's sitting over there. So I came and sat next to you. And I was like, oh, she's sitting next to me because she likes me.
Oh, dude, that exact situation happened to me also. Yes, I can understand you. Yes, the bus. Yes.
Yeah, the bus I see is what brings most of us down in school.
Yeah. And also it was like, even like when I was much younger in school, even I was like, oh, she gave me her pen, she gave me her notes to copy, she came and asked me for help on this, she likes me. You think all these things, right? When you're younger.
Yeah. And it sounds ridiculous when you think about it, but it actually makes so much sense.
Yeah, and even your friends are like, oh, she was looking at you today during the 5th lecture. And you're like, oh, damn.
It's like, yes, I saw her that one time. And even, okay, so one more thing that I found very interesting is that if you look at someone and they look away, it's not necessary that they're actually looking at you. They might just be staring off into nowhere and they're like, holy shit, this guy's looking at me. I must look away.
They must just feel awkward or something.
Even those situations, because it happens a lot. He's like, oh my god, Aya was just looking at me. Does that mean she likes me? It's like, you don't know. As a kid, you really don't know. You just assume that it's true and then you get hurt later.
That's what makes it cool.
Yeah, and also I can totally understand the idea behind each type of love when it comes to Manaka, because Aya is like his ideal love. Like they both have things in common. They both are
exactly.
They want to make movies together. They always have something to talk about. And then there's Tsukasa, who's like the popular girl, but he has fun with her because like they do random things. They have fun. And there's Satsuki, who is completely different from what he usually likes, but then she likes the same manga. She likes the same shows. No, so I think what this guy was looking for, Manaka was looking for, was in the end an ideal mix between all three of them.
Yeah, that is.
But then the strawberry panties had him blinded for the longest time.
It did definitely. Yeah, and also it's true. Like even your experience and mine, however little it may be, right? Like we've never been in relationships where our partners have been the ideal one, right? I've never dated, and people I've dated, one or two, have still been like much different compared to me. Now we've had like nothing similar, right?
Yeah,
and I think it's the same for you.
Is, right?
Yeah,
like you could like you would want someone who is like an exact version of you.
Yeah, you think those things as a kid, right? But when you meet them, like you don't really understand how it happens, but it happens, and then you're all together. I guess. Yeah, that's how it works, right?
Yeah, I mean, like that's how it happens with Nishino as well, right? He doesn't know why they are together. He just knows that they are together.
He just knows they are together.
And it's so representative of how life actually works.
Yeah, exactly.
Because without naming anything, hopefully people who know me won't see this shit, but my second girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay. No idea how I got together with her. No, completely different we were talking philosophy randomly.
Wait, the
She really
current
liked
one or the previous one?
No, previous one.
Okay, yeah. Even I have no idea.
So
I didn't even know her
we
for
were
a long
talking.
time.
Yeah, we were talking about philosophy, and she really
Yeah,
liked what
yeah.
the ideology I was following about nihilism and existentialism, and she started following that, and she was asking me questions, and that's how we started talking. And we had nothing else in common, nothing else. Like, she was an active, sporty type who'd was really would had a good friend circle.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was this introverted guy who was just like, and I don't know how it happened, but it happened. And it
just happens.
Even now, yeah, if I think back, I'm like, what the hell? That doesn't suit me at all. But then it still worked out while it lasted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
and
weird.
that feels a lot like the Nishino type of relationship.
It does feel a lot. Yeah, it's just the more time you spend, because even like it's like even like my first girlfriend, we didn't have anything in common, right? And
yeah,
except even though I'm not a lot into gaming, but she was into like more games than me, and even games I'd never heard of, and I wasn't interested also. But even though like we had nothing common to talk about, we just spent time talking, and then that's it, about just things,
Yeah.
about just life and other things. And as a kid you think of, oh, I'll have a girlfriend, we talk about like things I like, we want to talk about like suppose Naruto all day, or oh, I want to
Yeah,
talk
I
about
know,
this
right?
movie or this game I like all day. I want someone who likes the same things I do. As a kid you always think the same way, right?
Yep,
But then
yep,
later
yep.
it's like the exact opposite. You're just talking.
No, I think it comes down to you don't really understand the personality and importance of that person's individuality when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And then when you grow up, you're like, okay, that person is a separate person of their own.
Yeah.
I need to be interested in what they are interested
Exactly,
in as well.
yeah.
So it just creates a very big difference. But it's still captured so well in the manga, which is what
Yeah, it's
surprises
captured
me.
beautifully in the manga. That's what, like, I've said it 100 times, but this manga it's a big nostalgia trip for me of
Yep.
the
No,
past few
even if you
years
look
of
at
my life. Yeah.
even if you look at a few other things, like just off the top of my head, Nishino is very open about the relationship, but Manaka is not, because he's very awkward. He's very scared about what everyone's going to say. I can totally understand that, because it's not like me to jump around announcing a relationship to anyone. I'm just like, okay,
exactly.
we stay low profile. We don't really do anything. At the same time, like liking. So, for example, when my second girlfriend and I broke up, and I got together with my current girlfriend, I was in a position where, for no reason, there was absolutely no consequences, but I didn't want her to know about it because it would lead to an additional conversation that I didn't want to have.
I see.
So I can even understand the situations where Manaka is like, oh my god, I can't let Nishino know that I'm talking to Aya.
Yeah.
I can't know Aya know that I started dating Nishino. All that stuff. I mean, it's still juvenile. It's still little.
But you were also much
less serious
younger.
than the
You were still
situation.
in like junior college. It's like high school for most people. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's totally understandable. There's
Yeah.
so many things I could relate to.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, not the falling into a closet and getting stuck on top of a woman with her
never
dress
happened.
up out type of. Yeah, that never happened.
that never.
That is a.
We never even
I
got
think
close to that.
That is just like typical
Yeah.
fantasies for
Yeah.
guys that happen.
I've never
But, yeah,
fallen or
even-
tripped anywhere with a girl.
Yeah,
Never, ever.
even for other things like Nishino wants to kiss Manaka, and he's just
Yeah.
like, okay, it's happening. Why is this happening? I don't want this to happen. I need to get out right now. So, like, I felt that when I first kissed her, I was like, okay, what do I do now? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just here. Okay, how do I
It's
get out?
the first is the most awkward like moment ever that you'll remember. It's so
exactly.
awkward, yeah.
And
It's
you just don't know what the
no,
shit
but
is happening. And
the
you don't know.
beginning of relationship, especially the first one, is filled with awkwardness because both of you are
Yep.
like confused and new and figuring things. It's crazy,
Yep,
yeah. But those are the
It's-
times where it's like the coolest, if you think back upon it, yeah.
I just was an awkward little fuck.
Yeah, you hate yourself. You're like, yo, what's wrong with you? Why do you react this way?
Yeah,
But reading this,
exactly.
I was like, I see. I was an innocent, dumb little kid who knew nothing.
Innocent, dumb little kid, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And even the other scenes where Nishino is like, oh, I want to do a lot more. Satsuki's like, I want to do a lot more. And Manaka's just like, okay, nope, I'm out. I'm
Dude,
not
the
doing that.
nosebleeds, holy shit, that was funny. Every single time.
Yeah.
The Komiyama gets so many nosebleeds.
Yeah. He's got sent to the doctor for nosebleeds more than any anime character I've seen.
Oh, dude. The jokes were so funny. Like, misspeaking is something we did a lot, which you could relate. Like, I think I told you in the beginning, when he's talking to his friends, when he's talking to Osuka and Komiyama, when Junpei is talking.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to lift her. He wanted to say, I want to lift her skirt and film her panties, but he ended up saying, I want to lift her panties. And they're like, what the fuck are you saying? And like, there was this panel in the manga where it's just standing in shock with like wind blowing in the background. Yeah. I cracked up. Yeah, that was because even when we speak a lot, you misspeak and you say a lot of small funny things, which, like, I don't know, you wouldn't think of it as like a joke or write it or plan it. It seems very natural mistake that people make while speaking. I think that's been like freaking amazingly done. She's done a beautiful job on that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's written very well.
A lot of examples actually.
Yeah.
That even places where Aya just straight up walks into something, or Yui. Okay, that Chinemi, I think her name was.
Oh yeah.
I did not like that
lolly
character at all. I thought that character was a bad inclusion.
She seemed a waste in the story, yeah.
Yeah, but when Yui or Chinemi, they say something and Manaka gets real pissed and he opens his mouth and he has like sharp teeth and the devil tongue type of thing. I always love those type of panels. But there's actually so much comedy in the whole thing. Like even Tsukasa comes over to Manaka's house and she sleeps over. And he goes to his bed and he sees that she's there.
Yeah. Oh,
and then they hug in the night and sleep. And the next day, Tsukasa's like, oh, by the way, I remember something from yesterday. And he's like, oh my God, what do you remember us hugging and sleeping? And she's like, no, you're porn. You need to hide it better. Don't worry, I hid it for you.
Dude, yeah, holy shit. I know, right? Porn. That was something we all hid. Yes.
And one thing I can't relate to is how Manaka has so many situations where he gets to save these women, like a woman in distress type of thing. Like, I thought Japan was supposed to be a safe place. I haven't seen that happen in India. Okay, maybe it's gone unnoticed by me because I wasn't looking for it or whatever. But like random guys coming up and trying to drag schoolgirls away, I've never seen that happen.
Yeah, maybe we don't know.
Like a Japanese thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's based on real life or if it's purely fictional, but I'm not sure at all. Yeah, I don't know about that either. I know there's a lot of like harassment and everything in Japan in like public transport and in a lot of places in hierarchy, in offices and stuff. Yeah. I know it's a big problem, and like harassment is a big problem. At least now people are starting to speak out because the whole world is starting, but
of course
people have always been quieter because they are more like reserved, and not everyone. I'm speaking situationally, of course.
Yeah,
but apparently Japan has a lot of like hidden like sexual harassment. Like it's still a big problem.
Guys coming and try to drag schoolgirls away.
No, I don't know if they drag. They have this. I don't think they I don't know about them dragging schoolgirls away. I have heard in streets like they still give out like models and they try to get girls in for like their AV videos and stuff. They still try to recruit people saying, oh, modeling job and stuff, And there's a lot of nampa, which is like just picking up girls on the road, But that's that. Yeah, but I don't know if this specific situation and what it's based on, so I'm not going to say anything. But may happen, may not, I don't know. We'll have to look up.
Yeah, and also the extremely drunk teacher.
The teacher, holy shit.
Yeah.
Hey, were you attracted to any teacher? I was attracted to some teachers as a kid in my school. Definitely, I'll agree to that.
As a kid, okay, not as a kid, but when I was 18, and Audi can back me up here. We had a history teacher. So it wasn't that she was like really extremely pretty or something. She looked decent, but then she was this very energetic woman who tried to brighten up the class as much as possible and be as positive as possible, teaching a lot of things. So it was a very like he was like, oh, that teacher's so cool. Oh my God, it's her. Hi.
Dude,
but
I like
I'm
my
assuming
computer.
Yours is a lot more perverted.
It was. I like my computer teacher a lot as a kid.
My God.
Yeah. So why do you think
we want to hear about?
Why do you think I score highest in computers and really bad at everything else?
My God.
at that stage, I actually thought she was like a proper model. She used to look so good. All my hormones were going crazy just looking at her in class. I used to always call her for help, and she used to lean over, and I used to be like, "Yes, I don't understand."
Holy shit, how perverted were you as a kid? I didn't have the balls to do all this shit.
Hey, as a kid, you don't care. You're just it's
I
innocent.
didn't care. I was like,
But yeah, my computer science teacher, yes, even though I don't remember her name or her face or anything right now because I was really young back then. But yeah, I remember that story. But yeah, they show that pretty well, right? When the teacher, and even though the teacher is still like pretty crazy to be a normal teacher with some of the things she does, I would say.
yeah. Like drinking all the time, you stealing money from students' club
Yeah,
activities. Yeah. Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. But one like it's the manga. Let's talk about how beautifully it's freaking drawn. Like, oh my god,
Yeah,
like
it is.
she's done an amazing job with the manga. Like,
Oh yeah, I wanted to confirm
Holy
this later. I told you I would confirm it. The first few chapters I read were horribly scanned. So
you read.
they looked horrible for me.
You
And
mean
then I
the
read
legal volume you bought after that from Amazon?
Yes, the
Yes.
legal volume.
Yes.
I
And that
paid
looked much
for
better.
it on this site, which turned out to be shady. So I
Yes.
bought the legal
Yes.
volume from Amazon. Yes.
And we read it.
Don't look at shady stuff, please, people. Anyway.
Yes. Buy it.
The shady stuff terrible. Buying is best. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. It looks beautiful, right? It looks freaking. My mind, like in the first few pages, just looking at Aya, like even though I know it's like a Clark Kent effect thing, you know, with the specs and with the hair and with the open hair, you know.
Of course.
But dude, when you see her, like it's like the drawing is so beautiful. Like you can see how well the eyes are done, the hair, like. She has a lot of skill. I respect Kawasta Mizuki.
Because that's what really sets her apart in those two modes, so to speak.
Hair is done beautifully in this. Like, even the characters, they're so well. They're not like, I wouldn't even like. They're even different from like the cliche Japanese with like big eyes and all that stuff that most people make fun of. She has her own style, even though the eyes are kind of big, but they work so well. Like, I don't know. It's very well drawn. Like, even if you see like composition wise, like story wise, how one panel leads into another, it's like very well
easy to understand.
Yeah,
it's a very pleasant reading experience.
Yeah, you can just like even if you're not, it's done so well that even if the dialogue is very important and has a lot of impact, as we talked about, it's very beautifully and well written. But even if you don't pay attention and you're just like looking at images from a distance, you can completely understand that one follows into another and everything, right? And as we talked about, like these awkward moments that are shown with expressions, these funny moments, these mishaps and all, they're like so well like detailed and like so well done. Like she uses so little to like say so much more, right? With the way these people react, right? Even like such a powerful scene, like, you know, in the end, like, you know, when they're acting on top of the hill and Aya, and they're acting, but she says like, I love you, I've always liked you and stuff. Like, even though it's just a background and her face and she's speaking with the dialogue, it's like her face, background and dialogue box. But it's so expressive. Powerful. Yeah.
And also you're waiting so much for that moment.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's done so well, like it leads up to the hype and it like keeps it, you know. In the end you get what you want. So that scene is done so well, like scenes like that, like it blows your mind, you know. I really like she's put a lot of time into this. Appreciate it. This is a very good manga.
All the drawings are really good. I mean, even if you look at something as basic as the way Tsukasa's looks change over time, it's done so well. Like she goes, her hair becomes longer, she becomes more mature, and then she cuts her hair, and then she has the different look every time you see her after a certain period of time. So it actually, even the guy, the chef guy, the pastry chef guy, when you first see him, he looks like a very young guy with you know, just rough hair with a small beard. With no beard,
exactly.
And then afterwards you see him with like proper long hair. And, all that. Like the way, I think the character...
character design development is so well planned, so beautiful. It's these small things that make a lot of difference, right?
Even when you see them in the ending, after the time skip, and it just, they all look very well
Oh
drawn,
yeah,
very
they
well
look so
designed.
good, dude. Holy shit! Like, I was just
Also,
admiring
wait,
how her skill. I was just admiring her skill. Yeah. Anyways, continue.
yeah, talking about how good things look and how they've drawn people. Can we take a minute to talk about the really perverted photographer guy? What's his name?
Oh, the
Sotomaru,
yeah. I forgot his name.
Sotomura,
Wait, I must. Yeah, Sotomura. Yeah, Hiroshi Sotomura.
Sotomura.
Yeah. Oh, dude, like, I don't think he was as important to me. Like, he didn't have such a big impact. He was just this pervy guy in the background, just.
Yeah.
But he was
Okay, I'll
funny.
tell you who he reminded me of, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why. It makes no sense to me if I think about it. But do you remember in History's Strongest Disciple, Kenichi, there's that guy who has a computer and he knows everybody's good,
Oh yeah,
strong
yeah,
points
yeah.
and bad points and all that. It reminded me of that guy for some
What?
reason.
Oh, that's
It's like one
interesting.
guy sitting in the back who is evilly doing random shit on his computer and taking photos and all that. And when he's actually put in front of a situation, he's useless.
He's useless. Yeah.
He reminded me of that guy for some reason.
Yeah, he was funny. I
But he is
I can see where
MVP
it's
in many
from.
arcs.
Yeah, he is MVP in many arcs. That guy.
He literally sets up everything for Manaka.
Yeah, he does set up even in the beginning. Like, I think he enables the main film club, right? He starts because Manaka
Yeah, he
was
does,
always
yeah.
like, "Hey, I'm gonna do it," but he's like, "Yeah, let's do that." And like,
Yeah.
even though Manaka's like innocent, like, I just want to film panties. He tries to go like a level further. He's
Yeah,
always
he
like,
goes-
"What? Let's do."
He has a web page for God's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
And when Sukasa gets famous and he's like, oh, I should have made my website pay
Yeah,
to
yeah.
enter. I'm like, oh, yo, chill. You're too, it's like me when I was thinking I'm going to blog about Naruto and I'm going to earn money. Spoiler alert, I didn't earn money.
none of
But
us
it's like
did. Yeah.
that guy's putting up naked photos of people and he's like, oh, I should have made money off this.
I know, right? Yeah. No.
Like, God damn it. And he has a proper studio afterwards by the end of the
Oh yeah, he
series.
does. Dude, like I'm telling you, it's developed like so well. I'm just saying it again and again, but I really enjoyed that. No, but even when they become old, right, and you see where, like, because it was about dreams in the beginning, and in the end, you see where they have reached and how far they have gone.
Yeah.
It's
No, I
for
think
me. It was
that's
still
another very important thing.
what?
Like as the dreams part of it. So Aya tried to enable his dreams by matching hers with his.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like working
and
together.
Satsuki just tried to enable his dream without any care for hers. But I think Nishino really called out to him because she was always supportive of his
Supportive,
dream.
yeah.
She was always there for him, but she also made sure that she let him know, okay, this is where my dream starts. You are not going to take that away from me. And because of that distance that created between them, every time she did that, this guy fell more in love with Nishino.
Yeah.
And I think if that hadn't happened, if she hadn't been assertive with what she wanted, then he would have ended up with Aya for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That I think that's a really important point. Yeah, that definitely happens because he felt that, like, even though later, like, he tries to make a film like on his own, but it gets rejected.
Yeah,
And then he tells
yeah, it
Aya, "You have
sucks.
to help me write and stuff." Like, she always seemed to, like, even like in school, like even the early days, she always seemed to want to help him, give him this, give him that. I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily saying that's a bad thing, but like, I guess he was seeing it in a way like, I have my goals and you should follow your own individual goals. You shouldn't give up anything for me, in a way, right? Because he always
Yeah,
kept
like she gives up
encouraging
her own
Aya. He's like,
school,
you
high
should
school
write
for
more.
him.
You should. Throughout,
Yeah.
like, the manga, he keeps encouraging Aya to keep doing it, to keep pursuing what she wants to be, right?
Yeah.
Which I think it's pretty cool that Manaka does that. Yeah.
Yeah, but Nishino is like the perfect balance between.
Yeah, she is the
like,
perfect.
You do you, I do me.
Yeah, I
and
do
we
me. Yeah.
Try to get together whenever
No, but
possible.
that's what, because of that, like, I don't remember my reaction to the ending the first time, but the second time when you see them all grown up, and spoiler alert, Manaka is finally with Nishino in the end, right? Not with
Yeah.
Aya. I actually
What did you
wasn't
think of
sad.
that?
I was pretty happy with the ending. I really liked it. Like, seeing them in the end, like, talking to each other, and like Manaka and talking to Aya in like such a nice way, like, yeah, we'll help each other, we'll make this together. And then, like, even when Nishino comes and like he lifts her up and they kiss, and like I
Yeah.
was like, wow, this is cool, like it's nice. I felt like, damn, do I really like enjoy like romance movies? Like this is the first for me, I think. I was like, oh, that's really cool, I like that. Yeah.
Hey, that's the magic of Ichigo, 100%, man. That's the magic of. But wait, you knew that he was going to end up with
I
Nishino,
knew
right?
because I remembered it from
See,
before.
I
Yes.
didn't know that, and towards the end, it really hinted that he was going to be with Aya.
Oh,
And I
it
was
does get
expecting
pretty
that.
close. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then in the end, he's just like, oh, okay, did you see the movie I sent you? And she's like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, let's make some memories now. I was like, hey, that was too quick. One chapter, man. You took less than one chapter to finish the whole thing. And also, for some reason, it's been 10 years and he has that shitty camera with him. Like, man, come on, upgrade your technology.
Great, yes. Yeah,
Also,
apparently he
okay.
went all around the world and everything. Yeah, what were you saying?
Yeah, and he still has that crap camera. I mean, no offense, probably a good camera for
Yeah,
him,
it
but
probably
really, same camera for 10 years. That too, he's becoming more serious about his art than he definitely should have upgraded at some point.
Maybe it was
But anyway, that's
before
besides the
digital.
point.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
No, so what I was thinking of was, I thought, okay, there are like 3 chapters left. Nishino is going to Paris. That means this guy has to end up with Aya because they said they're breaking up. They said they're going, that they're no longer going to be
Yeah.
dating. And Nishino's like, when I go to Paris, you will no longer be my boyfriend. So I will say my good. Okay. And I was like, okay, they're broken up. Ah, God damn it. Okay, I guess he ends up with Aya. And then it just debates you in the end. Although for me there were like 3-4 other chapters after that ending. One where it shows Satsuki's dreams of how they both end up together.
Oh,
And one where he actually
no,
ends
those
up
were
with
the
Aya.
fan endings. Those were fan
Oh,
endings.
those were fan
yeah, both of them.
endings?
Yeah.
Ah.
If you see the title,
Also,
it's like fan ending 1, fan ending 2. I
Do
think
you
so.
know? Do you know why Nishino was the one who he ended up with?
Why? What do you mean? Like,
Apparently,
is
there was
there
a poll
planned
that was
reason?
put out, and
What?
she
Yeah.
asked fans who
Holy
they think
shit.
that he should end up with, and Nishino won the poll.
Damn.
So that's why they put her up. So a lot of people were unhappy with the decision of the poll in the first place.
Yeah, but I
But
think
then
it
most
works.
people like Nishino, so they.
I think
it.
Nishino was a good, like, it was a good ending. Her meeting Nishino. I like that decision was made. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good ending. Like, I mean, I think irrespective of who it was, it would have been a good ending because she can really write the story.
Oh
well.
yeah, I think she would have done it in a beautiful way. Yeah.
Yeah, so it really works out, and yeah, the ending is good. I just got jippated, man. Like,
Yeah,
that
you
hit
got
me right
jippated.
in I was like, but Aya, why would you leave Aya?
Dude, I got similar feels to like Bakuman ending somehow, like the emotions
know,
similar
right?
to getting this ending. It's like,
Yeah.
it's nice. Yeah. You get the feels,
wouldn't
but you're
be-
happy at the same time. Yeah.
If someone came and told me Bakuman actually, this what's her name? I forgot her name, but this
Kawashita
woman
Mizuki.
helped them.
Yeah.
Kawashita Mizuki helped them with Bakuman character design. I would not be
I
surprised.
wouldn't be
at all.
surprised at all. Yeah, exactly.
That would explain how Death Note and Bakuman have such contrasting characters. you know?
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
She is one of the characters, right? Is it
Yeah.
Aoi?
Aoi, yeah.
Yeah, she's the one, right, who started working on the ecchi manga, the shoujo manga. I forgot
Yeah.
her name. Yeah. So I think that's Kawashita Mizuki in Bakuman, right? Her character is
Yeah.
inspired by, yeah.
Oh, her name is Aoki.
Aoki, sorry. Yeah.
Hey, like the guy from Ippo.
The guy from Ippo. Total
Yuriko
opposite.
Aoki.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so
Wait, are there any images of...
there are a few, but you can never say
they're real?
say which is which. Yeah, because when I was like looking up her work and what she's done on Google, some come, but I'm not sure which is which. You can't really say anymore,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all these pictures look
They
so
look totally
different.
different, like different people. But I like her signature, like the girl who's like drooling. It's there in the manga also. She shows, right. It's this.
The girl who's drooling?
Yeah, it's this really funny picture. It comes up in the panels a lot. Like, I think.
Okay, yeah.
I think,
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, she talks about when she's like giving her commentary on like a particular chapter and stuff.
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
that? Yeah, that's very funny. But apparently, I found out she was known by she during the early part, and she she was known as Momokuri Mikan. It was her pen name apparently
So
before
Kawashita
early
Mizuki is
on.
her real name.
Her real name later on, and she's apparently she worked. Her first public work was like a doujinshi called Innocent, which makes sense with her ecchi skills.
Hmm.
But
I'm really surprised.
we really need to read more like Kawashita Mizuki manga, definitely, because I really like her as a
I
manga.
know, right?
And Ichigo 100%
I think you should
is like
read
a
more
classic.
slice of life, but I want to take time with it. It's just very
Yeah,
chill.
we'll talk about
Like
more slice
just
of life. I've read a couple. Bru just got started, so we'll see. We'll do some, but definitely recommend Ichigo 100%. It's like going to be an
yes,
amazing
Weeb101
journey.
recommends. Don't be a hater like Audi.
Yeah, it's
Read it,
okay.
watch
Like
it.
even if you say you don't like romance, you don't like, just try it out. Just give it a try.
It's
We
a
know where you're
classic for a
coming
reason.
from.
That's all.
Yeah, it's a classic. We know where you're coming from. Just give it a try. It's amazing, and
Cannot recommend it enough.
you will definitely like it. Also, Bru, do you have anything else to add to the manga? Anything else we want to talk about?
Okay, hold on. Let me think. I was actually thinking of a few things while reading it.
Any
and
points? Yeah.
I think I got out most of the points. We talked about all the love interests, how different they are. We talked about how they enable this guy, and
Yeah,
we never
those-
talked about the films actually.
Oh.
Did you notice? Did you notice something in the way the films went? It he always, according to who he liked most at the time, they were the heroines of the films.
Oh yeah, that is true.
So even though they try to explain it with, oh, I think this person will be the best because I can visualize them being, that's all bullshit. Like it was who he thought of.
It was
the
who
most
he
at
liked.
that
Yeah,
time.
and that's very well planned. I think that's really good writing
Yeah.
also to put that in. Yeah.
Yeah, and also
That
in
is
the end,
good.
okay, this is what I didn't like. This is the like one complaint I have. It's in the end, Satsuki just isn't given a fuck about it. Even in the movie,
Oh,
she's
yeah,
just
they
like,
totally
"Oh, thank you
ignore
for
her.
putting
Yeah.
my face on the poster, even though I wasn't part of the movie." Like, what? How can she not be part
Yeah. How
of the
can
movie?
she? Yeah. Exactly. Like.
She's literally one of the founding members of the damn club in the first
Yeah. Maybe
place.
that was done on purpose just to make her like with the character. He wanted her to feel
But
left
come on,
out.
man, she becomes a random innkeeper at
Yeah,
the
that's
end,
true.
and she has no relationship to Manaka at all. Like, I don't think it was that bad. Like,
You think they did her
apparently
dirty? Yeah.
apparently she said that she was in the running. She could have definitely ended up with Manaka.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
God, it didn't feel like that at all. It was like she was intentionally kicked out
Yeah, it
of
seemed
any
like
chance she had.
Yeah.
Because she was also the most forward person, right? So even if that wasn't what Manaka wanted, I
Yeah.
think you'd at least give her the respect of giving her some importance towards the end.
And this is a cliche. I've seen it everywhere. Like it's a very common thing. You see it in so many movies. Like they say, like girls who are very forward, like guys don't like them and all that. It's like so. Everyone
Yeah.
says that. Like I got tired of seeing it everywhere. You know, and I see it here also. Like
And also,
I,
okay,
as a
also
guy,
like to-
don't
for the
understand.
record,
We don't. I don't. I didn't. I don't. I like girls who are straightforward. I don't mind that. Why do people?
exactly.
Why don't people like that?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's just a movie TV trope where they're like, oh, if you're too straightforward and if you go for it, they won't like you. As a guy,
Again,
personally,
second girlfriend, completely straight. I was
Yeah,
just sitting
that's-
back and I was like, I don't know what the hell is going
Yeah,
on.
I know.
And she was like, okay, this is what is going on. I was like, I
completely
like that.
appreciate it. Yes,
Yup,
definitely.
yup. When things are spelled out for you, it becomes so much
Yeah.
easier, so much better. My God, completely agree. And I really think they did Satsuki dirty. She deserved a lot more in the
Yeah, exactly.
manga. That's my only complaint. I don't mind anything else that goes on. Also Chinemi or whatever the hell.
Oh
her
yeah,
name is, she was annoying
ignore.
as hell.
Yeah, ignore. What 20,000 yen bullshit? No, I'm not gonna.
You read that wrong. That I think that was 200,000 yen.
Was it? Holy shit, 200,000. Well, that's a lot more. Anyways, fuck that.
Basically, it was some $2,000. So that's what $2,000 is 1,40,000 in Indian currency, and that should be around 2 lakh yen approximately.
Oh, yeah, that's just too much. Yep. I don't think
way
people
too much.
outside know lakh. We have to use million or 100,000.
Yeah, that's 200,000.
100,000,
basically.
yeah. But another thing, don't watch the anime. It fucking sucks. The characters look terrible. The anime is an absolute
Oh God,
fail. It doesn't.
I need to check this
It
out right
doesn't
now.
do justice to the manga at all. If you're forming your opinion on Ichigo 100% based on the anime, you're absolutely wrong. That's the worst thing to do. Do not watch the anime. Just read the manga. Please, there's a big difference. The anime is trash.
Hey, Aya looks fine.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's Satsuki. Oh,
the
shit.
characters look terrible compared to the manga, dude. That's the first thing I noticed. The characters look so bad compared to the manga. The manga is drawn so beautifully. The anime doesn't do justice at all.
You're
Yeah.
right. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm looking at a few photos.
Exactly. Like, one thing about Kawashita Mizuki, she draws eyes so well, which I appreciate throughout the manga. The eyes look
Yeah.
like shit in the anime. Like they
Oh
look
my
like
God,
dead.
dude,
they have
look
no
like
feeling.
such,
Yeah.
and they look like such kids. They look like they're actual little kids. They don't look like teenagers.
Yeah, it's terrible. Please.
Oh my God.
Don't watch the anime. Read the manga. We recommend the manga here at Weeb101.
Also, shout out to Kawashita.
Yeah,
Mizuki,
please
what's
shout
her
out. Kawashita Mizuki. Bru will learn to
Kawashita
say your
Mizuki, sorry.
name. Yeah.
Hopefully.
we would-
I'm very bad with mangaka names except Oda.
Yeah.
Even that I call him Mero Oda. Anyway,
Road. We would love
yeah,
to
so shout out to
interview
her.
her. But I don't
she
think we
made-
ever will.
Yeah, I know, right? She somehow explained very well the guy's
Yeah.
side of things, girls' side of things.
Holy shit.
Showed how girls could be perverted too. Showed how
Yeah.
guys could be vulnerable
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly.
Like Amici, right? What's his name? The guy
Amachi.
who falls in love with
Amachi. Yeah, yeah.
Amachi. Yeah, he shows a really vulnerable side to Aya when she rejects him. He starts crying. He starts mourning the loss, and then
Yeah.
all that happens. So they show that it's not like all guys are perverts. It's not like all girls are innocent. She did a wonderful job.
Wonderful.
This is
Yeah,
this
definitely.
manga was so deep, so amazing in all
So
sorts of ways. I just can't
complicated,
believe it.
emotional, like a beautiful job. Exactly. And
Absolutely amazing.
yeah, definitely recommend it. Y'all will love it. Also, if you want, you can read Bakuman, where she's like her story is featured. She inspires one of the characters in Bakuman. So,
Yes, that is true. Bakuman is another must-read and
yes, definitely
another classic.
read.
We can't
Yeah.
recommend that enough as well.
So we haven't read her other work, which we are going to now. I think there's one called Hatsukoi Unlimited, if I'm not sure, or Hatsukoi Limited. I think yeah, Hatsukoi Limited,
My God, unlimited. Yes.
which is very popular. So we will probably start reading that soon, and you guys should check it out. If you all know how it is, let us know if it's good or not. If you all have recommendations for more like slice of life, romance, manga, which you all
not
want
really
us to talk
experienced with.
about, yeah, we'll definitely like read it and check it out.
But Sid,
Hmm.
I don't know that it made any sound.
No, I can't hear that.
Okay. Mike is probably going crazy when I have to remove that in editing.
Yeah, you probably have
Yeah,
to.
it is. Okay. So, what is next week's topic? I believe you told me we have to watch the anime and then read the manga,
Yes,
but I
that's
don't
what
know
we're going
it
to
is.
do. Yeah, so, I've heard about this a lot. I've seen a little of it before. I've seen a lot of memes, and I started watching it. Going along the slice of life journey and hopping on the slice of life
More
train,
slice of life.
we are going to talk
Yes.
about another really funny, really popular, very slice of lifey. I don't know why I said that. I was just, my brain went crazy. We're going to be talking about Nichijo next week.
Nichijo.
Yes,
I can't
Ichigo.
hold up my finger without this finger
Bruce's
going
fingers
down,
are
so I
fucked. Yeah. Anyway, Nichijo.
Nichijo.
I don't know why.
You guys catch up.
Yeah.
Audi, I know you're listening. Read it and don't be
Read
a
it.
hater this time.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. So we're
And-
going to talk about Nichijo. Seems exciting, very cool, very funny. So we're going to check it out. We're going to talk about it next week. And after that,
And after
the
that,
show comment here in editing right here. One of our two viewers recommended a manga, and to show that we actually care about people who recommend mangas, the week after that we're going to review Vinland Saga, the great
yes.
Viking manga
one
and
person
anime.
actually commented,
Exactly.
which is very.
Yes.
Oh my God, you guys should comment. It
Yes,
makes our day. I'm
you
not
guys
even
should
kidding.
comment.
We get really
We
excited.
get really excited, exactly. So And if you want us to talk about anything, recommend it and we'll do a review on it. I think I've seen Vinland Saga, but I haven't read the manga, and Brew, you haven't seen it yet. So we're going to
Yeah,
do
I haven't
that
seen it yet.
and we're going to talk about it the week after next. Yeah, that's when you'll see it.
Yeah. Okay. So, man,
We
this was
care
a good
about our
episode. I really
fans.
like talking about
Oh yeah,
Ichigo 100%.
I know it was really fun. We talked about it, but we never went like in detail talking about it. You know, we
Yeah, I know,
always.
right?
But this was like a deep
The thing
dive.
is, we just started talking about old stories so much that I forgot all the jokes I wanted to reference.
Yeah.
And like there's so many jokes, so many nice
It's so funny.
expressions, so many
Oh, dude.
different things that
Art, yeah, we can literally do a part. There's so much to talk about, but I think it's cool that we could relate to it on like such a emotional level, and think of our childhoods. And I think that's a really strong point about the manga.
yeah, I think a lot of women will be able to relate to it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay, me included. I know a lot of guys who have been hit on or been flirted with very obviously, and we're just like, that's normal to me. I don't see anything wrong with that behavior. And if they pull their hair behind their ear, be like, you like me, don't you? And on the other hand, they're like basically saying, hey, I love you, and we're like,
Yeah,
I don't think she likes me.
I don't
no.
think she likes
Doesn't
me. Yeah,
work.
exactly. Yeah,
My
we are
God,
really
okay,
we are really dumb at, like, as kids. We're really dumb at figuring out if someone likes us, and we think someone likes us when they don't. A very common situation.
Yeah, and we're
Yes.
really good at overthinking everything.
Oh, yes, a lot.
I think we're still good at that, but thankfully, not so much the romance part. We've moved past that a bit. We've become a little better in that aspect.
We are old and suffering in the world right now. We are
Yes, we are
adults,
old.
apparently.
We don't
It
have
hurts
time
to be
for
an
your
adult.
young in shit.
Yeah, we don't have time for that young in love. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know, right? I started liking healthy cereal. I eat oats.
Brew
and,
just
ragi
Brew
flakes.
just found out about granola. Can you imagine?
Yes, oh my God.
The one-
That shit tastes good.
Yes. Brew
But
loves
anyway,
granola.
Okay, also Nishino. Love her because she makes cake. She likes cooking.
Yes.
Win in my book. Forgot to mention, must mention.
Yeah. Amazing
Like
character.
Aya is cool. She writes a lot of stories. Satsuki is cool. She plays a lot of sports.
Yeah.
But my God, if Nishino can cook that well, I am on board.
Brew is on board. Brew is Team Nishino.
Yes. Anyway, so that's our podcast for now, and
That is.
we shall come back to you next
Yes.
week with
With Nichijo.
Nichijo.
And
Anyway, again, and after that, Vinland Saga. Yes.
Vinland. And like follow us everywhere. Like Twitter,
On
Instagram.
Twitter,
Please
on
interact with
Anchor.
us.
Yes, please. We get very happy. Please.
Yes. We'll get very happy if we get one comment also.
Yes, one comment and 2 likes. That's all we ask.
Yes, one comment and 2 likes. That's all we're asking for. But yeah, that's all. We're
Okay.
gonna keep doing this, and I think that's it. I don't think we have anything else to say. And most people must have
Yes,
left
indeed.
and stopped listening by now. So I don't know why we're still speaking.
And just to sign off, I'm Bru,
I'm Sid again.
and we have a timekeeper, Audie.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. No, stop.